Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Faror, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Faror, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. The Triforce, the most powerful relic known to Hyrule. For centuries, it has been the centerpiece of the unending trials and tribulations of this fair land. Lust for this object has caused the rise of demon kings, brothers to turn against their sisters, and invasions from parallel dimensions. This ancient relic has been proven to bless the land with peace, but also cause hardship. In a previous video, I explained that the Triforce may have been secreted away before Breath of the Wild. If you haven't watched that video, give it a look-see after this one. In it, I surmised that to keep the land of Hyrule peaceful, the royal family removed the Triforce from their history books, rebranding it as Zelda's sealing power. That's the basic idea for now, or, like I said, you can check out that video. Without the knowledge of the Triforce, Hyrule should have been a pretty peaceful place, right? Wrong. Breath of the Wild shows us that this isn't the case at all. Hyrule is in the worst state we've seen it since, I don't know, Ocarina of Time? So what's going on here? Ganon doesn't possess the Triforce, or even the piece of power which he normally personifies. Yet his strength has become so overwhelming that he was able to overtake nearly the entire kingdom in one fell swoop. What caused this? Today I answer this burning question with fire. No, you silly scrub, not a normal flame. This is Zelda we're discussing, so of course it comes with a pinch of magic. I'm talking about the 3 sacred flames of the Golden Goddesses. Possibly the only thing other than the Triforce the goddesses left behind. Most that haven't played Skyward Sword are probably asking what these flames are. The sacred flames are what could be the residual essence of the 3 goddesses left to the land, entrusted to Hylia, and guarded by the 3 dragons, Eldin, Lanayru, and Faron. Through their heat, Link can temper the Goddess Sword, creating the Master Sword, as well as strengthening his spirit, allowing him to become balanced in all 3 virtues. That of power, wisdom, and courage. This, coupled with Hylia's blessing, then leads him to wield the power of the full Triforce, eradicating demise. Ultimately, the flames are a test to see if Skyward Sword Link possesses an unbreakable spirit. Hold on to that. Something that I'd like to point out is that these flames don't just disappear after Link uses them. Unlocked by a Skyward Strike, the mechanism that houses the 3 flames are exposed to the world. With these flames out in the open, there's no telling what could happen if they fell into the wrong hands. Seeing as Link kind of left them there all willy-nilly, can we find evidence of their existence after Skyward Sword? I present you with the blue flame from Breath of the Wild. With this, we can draw some connections to Nehru's flame. It's blue, it's what powers the Sheikah's ancient technology, akin to the Sandship, and it's a sacred energy capable of destroying demons. Most Sheikah-made weaponry utilizes the flame to produce lightsaber-like properties. A fantastic example is the ancient spear that looks like a plasma torch. The other weapons produce a similar effect, radiating heat, which can be seen in the inventory menu for the game. It would make sense that the same energy that used to reside in the Lanayru Desert would be utilized to create time-bending technologies such as the Chamber of Resurrection, Guardian Parts, and the shrines that house the Sheikah monks. However, we do run into a bit of an issue. While Nehru's flame was located in a singular location, we find the blue flame from Breath of the Wild in two different spots, Hateno Village and North Akkala. Oddly enough, Skyward Sword explains this. After defeating Tantalus, if you return to the Sandship, Skipper's crew will explain that they are setting sail to be reunited with their shipmates that left after it was taken over by Skirbo. So, Nehru's flame is mobile, meaning that it could have very well ended up anywhere in Hyrule after Skyward Sword. The Sheikah later tapping into it, creating pipelines feeding the sacred energy to various locations throughout Hyrule, like the shrines, ancient furnaces, and the castle. Likely unrelated, but still noteworthy, the two ancient energy sources are both located close to springs that represent the Golden Goddesses. The Hateno furnace near the Spring of Wisdom, and the Akkala furnace near the Spring of Power. Regardless, my point stands. The ancient Sheikah, whose technology was praised as the power of the gods, is just that. The power left behind by the Golden Goddesses, initially used to temper the Master Sword and the hero's spirit. This leads us to the next part of our scheduled programming, talking the Calamity. How does all this Sheikah nonsense fit into how Ganondorf became the Calamity? I'm sure by now you have some idea of what I'm getting at here. Lacking knowledge of the Triforce doesn't simply stop someone from seeking ultimate power, especially if that someone is Ganondorf. His lust for it is tried and true, meaning that even the slightest hint of an energy source that could rival that of the gods existing means Ganny Boy would be on the case. Don't get me started on Lowroll. They destroyed their Triforce, and did it stop them from planning to steal another one? Big no. So if the royal family did indeed tear back the pages of history, plucking the Triforce from it to preserve what peace they had, it wouldn't prevent the King of Evil from fulfilling his desires. Hearing whispers of the flames, Ganondorf pursued that of Din's. Upon finding this sacred energy, he attempted to take the flame for his own. However, the Ganondorf of this era lacked an unbreakable spirit, like that of the hero of the sky. Din's flame consumed him with rage, creating what we now know as Calamity Ganon. From there, the battle of 10,000 years ago plays out, ending with Ganondorf's physical body being sealed away. I understand most of this is pure speculation, but here are a few things that stuck out to me when investigating this topic. First, malice is most of the time described as a gooey substance. You wouldn't think this would be the case if Ganondorf was utilizing a flame for power. Though, have you ever noticed what's floating around in the air near pools of malice? It's as if it's producing heat, creating small embers that lift from its surface. This brings us back to the Sheikah's blue flame. It too produces similar embers. And it's also known to take on the form of a liquid when sharing data via the Sheikah Slate. Both substances have the ability to take on various states of matter. Peculiar, but not enough. Okay, now let's take a look at Calamity Ganon's final form from Breath of the Wild. Dark Beast Ganon is a giant fiery hunk of pork featuring magenta flames and malice mashed into one. The Oinkster is legit on fire the entire battle. Oh, And his long-lost cousin, Warrior's Calamity, looks like Captain Falcon burst into flames. Both eerily similar to the flame produced by Din's fire. That being said, if both Calamity, Ganon, and Sheikah technology are utilizing a similar ancient fuel source, this could also explain why he was able to take over Sheikah technology, flooding their systems with his form of sacred energy, overriding Nehru's flame entirely. Do you recall what I said about the dragons being the protectors of the three sacred flames? Who's the only dragon that's tainted with malice? Naydra. Possibly giving the big CG an opening for a full-blown assault against the Sheikah's tech. Cunning, my friend. Very cunning. Falling in line with the pieces of the Triforce, Ganondorf would take on the piece he personifies the most, that of power. The Sheikah bearing wisdom, and the ancient hero wielding... Well, I'll let that one bounce around in your head for a while. I have a strong feeling that if this theory ends up even being remotely true, Breath of the Wild sequel will lend a hand in that department. As you know, Skyward Sword HD is right around the corner, and this would be a wonderful way for the Zelda team to reference the story that started this never-ending cycle. That's all I have for you today. As we eagerly await more information on Breath of the Wild sequel, what are your ideas on what could have happened to Ganondorf? Was it his consumption of Din's fire? Did he go insane in the membrane? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. While you're there, shaka the like button, locka the subscribe button, and turn on all notifications to stay up on my latest videos. Speaking of which, I'll be hosting an E3 livestream alongside Game Over Jesse and Kat Bergerson on the 15th of June. You should all come hang out. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. May Hylia bless my channel members and subscribers. I'll see you soon. RMFH out.